What's up YouTube family, James Kearsley checking in with you. Today we are doing my first Q&A. A couple of days ago I put up on my Instagram and Facebook this picture, which obviously it says Q&A backwards. But what it reads is Q&A time, first YouTube Q&A, fitness or non-fitness orientated questions. Comment below with your questions. So that went on my Instagram and my Facebook and it came back with about 30 questions. So depending on how long it takes me to answer these questions, it could be split up into 2 videos, but we'll see. So I have already had a look through the questions just to filter out the trolls and the not so serious ones, which is fine. Most of them are usually, well, most of them are sensible, I suppose. So we're starting off with on Instagram and then we'll move on to Facebook. So first of all we have from Relentless Pursuit, my pal Edwin from over in the States. Question is, what were your sources of inspiration and motivation, internal or external, that lifted you from your lowest points along your journey? So I suppose we're referring to the cancer journey with that question. I'll try not to go too far into it because it might be a massive long video, but source of inspiration and motivations, really with my cancer diagnosis, I was never really a negative Nancy about it. Obviously it's a shitty thing to happen, but I guess my perspective was you don't have to be negative about a negative situation. Like obviously it's a crap thing, you get diagnosed with a disease, but your mentality and your positive mindset will obviously overcome half the journey and half the battle, which is the mental side of it all. So I guess source of inspiration, well, I guess motivation is obviously the motivation to keep living. So it's a very hard question to start off with. From Instagram, Mama Sunny 1982. Do you have any other passions, loves other than fitness? Yes, but they're not as high up in the ranks. So I enjoy playing music. If you've watched that vlog I posted a few weeks ago, there's a clip of me playing my drums in there, and I've also got 4 pairs of guitars in there as well, which I play. I don't really play in a band or anything, but I've learnt enough to be able to play my favourite songs. So that's just kind of a hobby, and other than that, just working on my own stuff to, which is all revolving around fitness. So that's an answer for that, I suppose. Next question, Matthew McLovin. What makes you strive to inspire people around the world with cancer? I was actually thinking quite a lot about this question. Something I can't really forget was that someone sent me a message over Instagram and said along the lines of, because of your posts about cancer awareness and like blood donation, that sort of stuff, he went and got a checkup from a doctor and they found something that could have been cancerous, but because they got it early, it wasn't. So the fact that I motivated someone to go get a checkup and discover something that wasn't, or that could have been potentially cancerous but wasn't, that's motivation enough to keep doing what I'm doing, because essentially it's to save life. Next, what is your shoulder routine? Actually today was the first time I've trained shoulders by themselves besides triceps in months. Like I don't do shoulders that much because they're genetically superior, like genetically blessed. So I just chuck them on the end of my push day or my pull day for my rear delts. So I don't really have a set shoulder routine, Johnny, but yeah, I guess they get hit in my push days and my pull days as well. So all I really do for my delts is like side laterals on my push days to hit the side delts, and some rear delt stuff on my pull days or my push days, depending on what day it goes on to. Next one, from Jay Phillips. What makes you keep doing what you do? I kind of answered that in my second previous question from Matthew. It's just that even though it sounds cliche as that, some of the stuff I guess have the ability to do can help people. I just guess the feeling of making people happy, making people motivated, and being able to assist them with their own goals and that sort of stuff. Next question from QB Fit. It says, as far as I know, cancer patients / survivors aren't allowed to eat meat. How do you grow without eating meat, poultry, or dairy products? Are the diets from cancer survivors different from normal people? That's the first I've heard of, I guess, cancer survivors or patients not being able to eat meat. Like, I was never told by any doctor, and I haven't seen any evidence that meat causes cancer or has anything. I'm sure there is some sort of, I'm sure that if you research anything, it would say that anything will give you cancer at some stage. Like, besides like stuff like cigarettes, obviously that can give you cancer, but from hearing eating meat and dairy and that sort of stuff, I eat it every single day. Next question. If I'm 26, is it too late to start doing fitness and get some nice shape of muscles? No, it isn't. It could be a bit harder because of the amount of hormones and stuff that might have changed. Obviously, if people are in their teens, they have much higher levels of testosterone. Not that your testosterone would have finished off by 26, but you won't have as much time to build. So no, it's not too late. Go ahead and do it. It's heaps of time. 26, you still got, okay, I think testosterone finishes like mid-30s or so, 30 or so. So you got heaps of time. Go ahead. Next question, how many hours do you spend in the gym each week? All dependent on things. At the moment, with weightlifting and cardio, I guess a weight session would be anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, and plus my cardio, which does vary on different days, like an extra half an hour usually. So, and I go 6 times a week, so roughly it's going to be between 12 to 15 hours a week. That's for weightlifting and cardio. Next one from Christy Gets Fit. What do you eat and how many times a day? Well, with my diet, like I've been dieting for nearly 17 weeks now. I've got a competition in 3 weeks. So I don't have like set meals and whatnot, but if you were to count them, it would probably be around 4 to 6 meals a day. So it's breakfast, probably 2 meals before gym, post-workout meal, and then some evening thing. But that does change. But what do I eat? Usually whatever I feel like, because I don't really get cravings, but just whatever I can fit. And by the end of the day, depending on what sort of macros I have left, I can have like a little treat, like an ice cream, or try and catch up on my protein or something like that by having more egg whites or beef jerky or something like that. Next one, from Tarn 10th. What would you say the best pre-workout is if you take it? I haven't tried many pre-workout brands, to be honest. I've probably had about 4 or 5. But one I really like, because I don't really like stimulants, like this stuff where you get heaps of beta-alanine and lots of caffeine that makes you just buzz and then probably a very big crash. So I just, like a really basic one was Optimum Nutrition's pre-workout, the gold standard one. It's pretty cheap as well, in comparison to most pre-workouts. But yeah, Optimum Nutrition pre-workout was sufficient because it didn't have a huge amount of buzz from a beta-alanine kick and not like a overdose of caffeine and that sort of stuff. Next one from Creative Grit, my friend Dan down here says, what will your victory speech be like? So he's referring to the competition I have in 3 weeks, like 25 days away. And I haven't thought much about the question, but I've thought about like the speech. Not like I'm saying I'm going to win or anything, but if hypothetically there was a thing like if you come first and they hand you a microphone to say a few words, I obviously would thank everyone for dealing with my dieting phase, like how irritable I get and frustrated sometimes. But one thing I'd like to say would be, I'd like to dedicate it to my friend Joe, who unfortunately passed away just rather recently from a cancer similar to mine. I would like to just put it out to him, because his unfortunate loss was something that has pushed me through this diet and will continue to push me through all my endeavours in the future as well.